Hey guys, this is Kevin with Muddy Bottom Mini Trucks. Let's lift a carry. Take this off. Take that nut off. Bust your lug nuts loose. Jack up the truck. Now that you got the truck jacked up, you can see that it's unloaded the spring and the piston is all the way out. Make sure you get this and retain that. And this other washer. Now remove your tires and wheels. Now that that's down, you're going to want to remove your spring and all of the little parts up here. There's a little top cap. This right here. And a little dust cap. And just remove your spring. Take this thing out. Once you got everything off, you want to make sure this is nice and clean, and then all your parts here nice and wiped off. You don't want any of that sand and grit and stuff wearing on your spring. Remove your lower bolt and then loosen your top bolt so this can swing out. All right, once you got that swung out, you need to pull this rod all the way out. You're going to need that to reinstall it. Install your PowerFlex spring. Keep in mind that these have little notches that they need to line up with the spring as you install it. Once you get your dust cover on, you want to again line up the notches and put the rest of your top hat on. Reinstall your lower bolt and move it into position. All right, you want to align everything up here best you can, and go ahead and put a jack up underneath here and jack it up, and that's going to compress your spring so you can put your nut and washers up here. Once you get it through there, just get the nut started. If you can, go ahead and tighten it down finger tight or just with a ratchet. And if it's not centered, it's not a big deal. Go ahead and once you kind of get it tight, we'll let the jack down, kind of recenter it, and then you'll check it with your centering nut to see if it is centered. It's not here. Once you do get it centered, back with the nut, I'll take this off. Go ahead and take that nut back off, put your washers and stuff back on there, and tighten everything down. All right, I let my jack down a little bit. I recentered it. Now I'm just going to check it with this. Like it's right exactly where it needs to be. Pushed it back up. Now I'm going to take this nut off, install this, and then install my washers and nut. Now you're going to want to remove these nuts. Once those nuts are removed, go ahead and let your jack down, holding on to it. Now you'll want to install your top hat using the OEM supplied nuts. Install your camber plate like so with the Muddy Bottom supplied hardware. Make sure that your slot is facing inboard. Push your strut back into position with the top hat installed. Go ahead and loosely install your hardware up here. And what you're going to want to do is slide it all the way inboard. What you might have to do is turn this where corner is facing outboard. That way it's flat on the inside, and you can go ahead and push it inboard as much as you can. That's going to be a good start for your camber adjustment. Don't forget to reinstall your bolt down here. Tighten everything back up. When you get done with this side, everything should look like this. Make sure you double check the tightness of everything, and I mean everything, before you take this thing out on the road. Now, I think this goes without saying, but do the same thing on the other side. And there you got it, halfway done. All right, time for the back. Jack it up from there. Put your jack stands here. Make sure and use jack stands. Do not try to do this without jack stands. Let your jack down, your truck down onto your jack stands. This is pretty straightforward. Remove these two nuts. This exhaust is going to be on your way, in the left-hand side. So you want to come up here and undo that nut right there. Kind of lets this flex and this come out. Take out your old crappy bushings. Clean up really good. This is actually pretty clean already, but some of these bushings that's going to be in y'all's trucks are going to be all jacked up. So there's going to be all kinds of crud and stuff in there. Make sure it's nice and clean for the new ones. All right, once you have your shackles off, you're going to want to take the nuts off of the top and bottom of your shocks. And then lower down your axle, and it will stop whenever the shocks are bottomed out. Then you can remove your shocks. You'll want to take this applied hardware, put the 1/2-inch washer on first. And then you're going to put your shock on, and then you're going to take the little 1/4-inch washer on after that. And it should look like that when you're through. All right, once you put your axle back down about to where you need it, you're going to need to lube up inside here after you clean it, of course. And then you're going to lube up the outside of these for now, and you'll lube up the inside later whenever you go to put the bolts in. All right, once you get everything lubed up nice and good, you're going to want to go ahead and install your shackles. You're going to want to go ahead and throw some lube on the shank of your bolts too. You're going to get some of this on your threads. That's not a big deal. It is anti-seize compound. It's meant to go on threads anyways. After you get those shackles on, it should look like this.